Into the cutthroat situation at the bottom of the First Division. Good news for Norwich City that Mick Shannon signed for the season, but their position demonstrating just how hard it's getting. One of those based at Colchester, where the sport is already has a pretty firm footing. Considering volleyball was introduced to this country a little more than 25 years ago, it's gone from an immigrant's recreation to a competitive sport in rapid time. This is an Essex county training session at Colchester under coach Peter Guernari, a squad of 15 players drawn from a possible 22 clubs.
You don't know who you're blocking. The feeder cover the off the block, and let's try and hit the block so we can get it on. Let's give it a go, all right? Primarily, you have 6 aside on court, so the court is 9 by 9 metres. And you get a serve situation where you score when you serve, as in badminton, if people can relate to badminton. You have to receive the serve back. You receive with a dig technique, which you know is receiving the ball on the forearms. You try to pass that to a player that's a setter or a passer of the ball, who then passes it on to a hitter, a spiker, and smashes from high above the net, trying to put it down on the opposition's court. The game, of course, is to get the ball on the opposition's court inside the 90-metre square. You've got 3 touches in which to do that. The only exception is when there's a blocking situation occurred. That's when you've got 2 players putting hands up to block the ball at the net, block the spike. Then that is classed as a 4th touch. Then that team, if it falls their side, can play 3 touches with the dig, with the set. And what you try to do is you vary the attack. There's some spectacular stuff where there's dives involved, what you call a front recovery dive, rolls. You know, there's quite a few of us got some chips off our elbows and our knees. But yeah, it's very dynamic.
And the ladies don't exactly stand on ceremony either. Their version of volleyball isn't perhaps so powerful or dynamic, but it sometimes flows more, better rallies. And a good right hand always comes in useful. Plenty of proficiency here, then, among Colchester ladies' team, who came to the sport via various routes. How did you come into volleyball, first of all?
Colchester, as a town, needed some players to go to Siena in Italy for volleyball, and I joined it then, and I carried on from there.
Hadn't you played before, then?
No. Only 3 weeks before we went, I started playing.
Tell us a story of how you got into volleyball.
Well, I started when I was at school in the 6th form, then I went to PE college, and I built it up from there. Then when I left, I carried on, and I'm teaching at school now, and I play for Colchester.
Did you give up other sports to take up volleyball?
Yes, I gave up football.
Gave up football?
Yes.
They're both pretty violent sometimes, aren't they?
Yes, I had to give up football through injury, so I came into volleyball then.
One problem for volleyball is space. It takes up the equivalent of 3 badminton courts and needs a 7-metre height clearance, and matches can last 3 or 4 hours. When the Spring Cup is held here, a special court will be laid and the whole of the sports centre will be used. And for the first time in this country, the ladies will dominate the stage.